YouTube, man, what's going on? It's LNH back with another vid, man. And to say this Nick Briz and Chris situation has just took a turn for worse is an understatement in my opinion. There has been so much news going on since the last time, even yesterday, that I covered this entire vid. So we're gonna break it down, get right into it, man. But honestly, the main things Nick is on the chopping block for is for, of course, paying people to get into fights in his videos, paying his squad barely any money compared to what he is actually making, and allegedly saying the N-word. So we're gonna break everything down and get right into it, man. But if you guys do like these type of vids and like me covering these, like the vid, sub to the channel. But let's get right into it. Now, if you guys have not seen it, we'll start off with Chris because he was the one who started all of this. Now, basically what had happened was, of course, we saw him go on Instagram, basically say he's no longer part of CRSWHT and saying that Nick was actually paying people to come in and start fights with people on the CRSWHT and that were playing on the courts for entertainment.
I'm going here and make this very, very clear. I am no longer a part of CRSWHT. I'm not playing with CRSWHT whatsoever. Nick is a cop caller. He has been setting fake content up for people to bite. He doesn't care about anybody on the team. He pays Chauncey pennies. He pays Carlos pennies. His whole entire life is a fraud.
And that's a crazy accusation, of course. And I gotta be honest here. That is a huge finesse. I've never even heard of something like that. And to be honest, the people on his team wouldn't even know. I gotta be honest, that is a crazy move by Nick. But definitely, you guys know the majority of content on YouTube is fake. But that is a crazy finesse, man, on Nick's part. I can't even lie. And don't forget, Mikey Williams and even Devin the Lab had called this a minute ago that his content was fake. But now we're really starting to see what is going on behind the scenes. Now, staging fake content is one thing, but it's a completely another thing when you're paying your teammates pennies compared to what you're actually making. And in my opinion, that just shows bad character. But again, that is from whose point of view? This is what Chris was saying. And the reason why I have to believe Chris in this situation, or it seems very likely that he's telling the truth, he even put audio on his channel basically showing that Nick was doing this, and I'm gonna play the clip right here.
I put two guys out there that were just talking the whole time, bro. You almost fought one of them, remember?
I was gonna punch him in his face.
Those were fake paid characters, bro.
Now, when someone says something and another person says another thing, the only way we distinguish this is with hardcore facts, evidence. And when we hear a recording of somebody's voice saying that he was paying people to do this, I think that clearly shows that these videos for sure were fake, at least some of them. Now, the next accusations we actually heard from Chris were insane in my opinion. Now, of course, the first thing he was saying was that Nick was making about $40,000 per month and actually only giving his guys around $1,200, which that's tough in my opinion. If you're faking any type of videos and you know people can expose you like that, what type of sense does that make to not really appreciate the people on your team, help them grow so that they don't expose you when something like this does happen? But man, I guess it was too late, because according to Chris, he was really paying his guys pennies and not really giving them the type of bread that they deserve. Now, I think the worst allegation really comes next when he actually stated that Nick was actually saying the N-word all the time.
I've heard this man call an Uber driver the N-word, bro.
And I gotta be honest, that's tough because on one point, if you're talking about paying people, faking videos, that's on one hand. But when we're talking about racial things like this, man, that can be a very sticky situation. And if you're saying stuff like this, man, I gotta be honest, you can get canceled pretty quickly. Now, should we believe Chris and what he said about this part so far? And honestly, if we haven't seen proof, we cannot believe it. And of course, the audio, if Nick was saying something on audio, that would be a completely different story. But as of right now, we have not heard that type of audio of him saying things like that. So again, that is just an accusation at this point. But if it's true, man, I think his career is going to be over if something like that really does come out. Because you guys know that type of stuff sticks very hard. And after someone hears you say things like that, it's very difficult to really change the perspective of the media. Now, the accusations really never end because Chris even said that Nick does coke, which is wild.
Time we went to the gym, he's like, bro, yeah, I was damn man, I was fucking up all night sniffing coke, bro. He's like, I'm so Like, my body's so drained, bro.
I've never even heard someone expose somebody like this or accuse of something like this. But again, until we see some type of video or evidence, it's just an accusation. But man, if it's true, I think again, these are type of things that really can destroy your reputation. And it kind of shows you, man, the type of routes that you can take getting clout in this basketball scene are very different, man. You almost never see somebody like Friga in something like this. But the fact that these accusations are coming out is wild. And even Chris had said things about Nick bragging about how much money he makes, and even the fact that he was going to pay someone to swing on Cash Nasty, which that's tough in my opinion. These are some wild accusations if they are really true or not. But again, the evidence is the ending lying factor where we can really determine if something is true or not. And so far, the evidence that we've seen, of course, has stated that those videos that he was making was fake. But these type of accusations, man, if we saw some type of video, yeah, I think it would be a wrap for this dude's career. I'm not gonna lie. Now, of course, what happened next? Man, Nick had to respond. After Chris was talking all of this, saying all of these things, man, Nick did respond on Instagram in a very, very long video. There were a ton of videos he put up on his Instagram, but I'm gonna give you the gist of it right here. Now, basically, Nick was saying that he saved Carlos from the streets. Now, you guys know Carlos does have a mental disability, and with that being said, Nick was basically saying that he put Carlos on, made his YouTube channel, Instagram, and did a ton for him to help him really get money and get safe off of the streets. Now, if this is true, and it does partially look like this is true, I think that was really good move on Nick's part, but I don't know. It almost seems like he's saving him and like he's a savior, and it's hard for me to really buy that type of character from Nick from what we have seen so far. And I think the real reason why this is tough for me to do is because, again, Nick had said his videos were not fake, especially with the Mikey Williams situation, and called out Mikey Williams, said he would slap him, right? But then when we look at it in this video, Nick actually says that his content is what? He said that he only staged one video.
Get truly severely hurt. We did speak on potentially staging videos and putting videos in place, and it did happen one time. It happened the one time in Tampa with 99 the boxer and where he hits.
But him doubling back on this, and of course the audio was already released pretty much exposing that Nick was lying about this entire situation. It makes him untrustworthy. At the end of the day, if we heard that he's lying about a situation, how would we be able to really trust what this dude is saying? And the fact is, we can't now because he's already been proven as someone who didn't tell the complete truth. And that's why it's hard for me to believe anything he's going to be saying moving forward. But I think the one thing that he also said in this live video as well was that, of course, he never said the N-word and said he doesn't even call the cops, which has been a big thing back and forth. But man, the type of nonsense that is going on between these dudes are wild. Now, on one hand, some people think Chris is lying, and on the other hand, people think Nick is lying. Now, in my opinion, man, when we take a look at it, think about it. The first thing when we look at is Chris. Chris, of course, had evidence of one of these situations, and some texts were going around about another situation with Nick Briz and paying people. But at the end of the day, DMs, man, we cannot trust those. Anyone could make them. So I'll just go by audio. And in this case, the audio said Nick was faking his videos. He had evidence for that, which was solid. And that's why, in my opinion, if you're showing any type of evidence, I'm more likely to believe what you're saying opposed to the other person who's basically contradicting almost everything you're saying. But in this case, about fake videos, that's when he did admit and pretty much said that only one of his videos, Nick said one of his videos were fake. But of course, on the other hand, some people think Nick is completely lying. So it's really tough to distinguish between these guys. But man, this is wild. And low-key, some people were saying Chris might have been in on this entire thing and was doing this just for clout. Now, part of me wants to take a look at this situation and say Chris was doing it for clout. And the reason why I say that is because, of course, the idea of getting your clout up, being able to get this larger following than you already have. And if you see how much money Nick is actually making and then think, okay, maybe I can make more than him, man, I'm going to do that right away. I'm going to try to do my own thing, expose this dude and make clout and a name for myself. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's true because partially, of course, he was already getting money money, but the other thing is just the fact that he had evidence, man. You cannot get over evidence. And if Nick Briz had some type of evidence we could see here, maybe I would believe him, but he seems reluctant to put out that type of stuff. And again, I don't think you'll see it. And even before, man, I think it's just his entire track record. Even the entire Mikey Williams situation showed his character, but also even the Devin the Lab situation when he didn't technically, quote unquote, actually play Devin the Lab and really play him for that 100,000 or whatever he got called out for. So that's why I think, in my opinion, man, when we look at Nick right now, it's tough for me to believe or really stick to what he's saying. But at the end of the day, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below, man. This is a wild situation, a ton of accusations, man. But again, I think the biggest things here are, of course, Nick really saying the N-word and not paying his players, man. Fake videos, you see those day in, day out, even though he technically got caught for lying about that. Again, that's just another situation that does what? It makes what he says very hard to believe in the future. But you guys let me know what you think about this entire situation, man. I tried to sum it up for you. Make sure you like the vid, sub to the channel, turn on post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video. Drop any video suggestions you do have in the comments down below, and let me know what you think about this entire situation. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, and I'm trying to get back to all my DMs, so I will make sure I do that. But I appreciate each and every one of you. It's Ellen H. and Mo.